Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. For those that are new and returning, my name is Matthew, and this is Matthew Hawker Gaming. Today, we're going to do another video in my Commander series, and I apologise, I haven't done one recently. I just haven't been feeling very well. Alright, we're going to return today to the Commander series. Today, we're going to feature Doran the Siege Tower. Doran is one of my favourite things, because I have great affinity with him, because technically he was my first commander that I built. I mean, that wasn't a tree folk deck, which is what we're going to feature today. I might show that deck. I haven't showed that deck before on the channel, but I will show that deck at some time. Anyway, today we're going to feature is Doran, which is going to be more like a tree folk tribal. We're going to call it something like Forest Friends. And for those that are new to the channel, I've been playing Magic for really 25 years or thereabouts. And when you say I mostly play Commander and Limited in Booster Draft, I also do various other MTG content on the channel, such as I do various gameplay videos for Arena and that. Anyway, today we're going to go back to my Commander series. Anyway, today, I apologise for the mess. Anyway, so we've got the thing. Right, so today's featured commander is going to be Doran. Anyway, let people know what your favourite commanders are. Anyway, this is Doran the Siege Tower, so it's a Abzan commander, as we call it a thing. It's technically a 0/5, but like its stat line is each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And tree folk have got a large toughness to power ratio. They're generally bigger on the back than the front. I mean, say thanks to Maria for this auto of Doran. It was inspired. I'll show you what inspired it in the deck in a minute. There was another one I got that was done professionally by someone, and I don't know who it was, but I got this to try and match. All right. Right, so we're going to go into the deck. So it's going to be, I'll try and avoid the spoilers. I don't like to say it's going to be a tree folk tribal deck. So the focus is mostly on tree folk and things that I would associate with the forest. So things like a Soul Ring, I wouldn't associate with being natural because it's an artifact. So I would say Soul Ring doesn't make the cut. Anyway, it's going to be fairly low bracket today. It's probably going to be between a 2 and a 3, I would think. Anyway, let's say, all right, so I'll do that. I need to say I'll bring them into focus. Sorry about that. I need to say I'm using a phone to film as always. All right, this is Tree Folk Harbinger. So this is it's the only tutor thing in the deck. This was played. I played this in my Doran deck in Modern when it was reasonably good in Modern. Anyway, you could get a turn 3 kill at one point, I believe. All right, Tree Folk Harbinger is a 0/3. There's part of a whole cycle. This is from the original Lorwyn, and we just returned to Lorwyn recently. Anyway, it's when Tree Folk Harbinger comes to play, you may search your library for a Tree Folk or a Forest card, review it, shuffle your library, and put the card on top. There's also the same for Merfolk and Goblins and Kifkin, I believe is the normal thing. Right. Then we're going to go into Cradle God. This is one is probably forgotten now. It's one in green. It's from Urza's. It's from Saga, the one with the cogs. And it's got Trample and Echo. So Echo, for those that don't know, Echo means during your next upkeep after the permanent comes into under the battlefield, you basically have to pay the Echo cost or sacrifice it. So you're basically paying out. You're getting a large statted thing, but you're paying out over 2 turns basically. So that's Cradle Guard, and it can guard a guy's cradle thing. All right, Wickerboy Elder. It's a 3 and a green. It was reprinted in Ultimate Masters. I can't remember what set it was from originally. I would think it was probably Lorwyn. I say most of the tree folk on the various planes in Magic are based around Lorwyn. Some on the other planes. There's some on Dominaria, for instance. And don't forget, there's also the tree folk in Lord of the Rings that basically gave a boost to this deck. There'll be probably some more tree folk coming out when The Hobbit comes out, I would think. Right, so this is a 4/4 basically, but it enters with a -1/-1 counter. You can remove the -1/-1 counter to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Alright, all the tree folk are in this section, and we'll see how many of those are. And there'll be some non-tree folk as well. This is Unstoppable Ash. This is a 4 mana 5/5. It has the champion mechanic, which means you have to champion a tree folk or warrior. So when this enters play, you basically sacrifice it unless you remove another tree folk or a warrior you control from the game. When this leaves play, the card will come back. It's whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, it gets +0/+5. So it's pretty good. It's like kind of like an overrun effect, sort of. It's a pump effect, is more way to look at it. This is Dauntless Darbark. So I believe this saw play, minor play at one point as well. It's a 3 and a green for an XX. Its XX is basically on its power and toughness are equal to the number of forests you control plus the number of tree folk you control. Dauntless Dabark has trample as long as you control another tree folk, so it's not difficult to tree. I say, I should have explained. So this deck is a bit weird in its colour pie because this deck is mainly a green-black deck. It's really only splashing a couple of white cards, which are the commander, and there's a couple of other minor white cards in the deck as well. And as I say, as always, so the link to the deck list on Moxfield will be below the video in the pinned comments. So I'll keep that will be the updated list. You can also follow me on Moxfield as well if you want to see my decks. I try and do them every time I do the video anyway. I'm reasonably good at it now. It should be up when I release this video. All right. This is another legendary creature. It's a Nemata, the Primeval Warden. It's a 2 black and a green for a 3/4. It's got reach. And it's if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it. So it's flavorful exile. When you do create a 1/1 green sapling creature token, and we've got some payoffs for saplings in the deck. It's got green sacrifice a sapling to give the warden +2/+2 until end of turn. It also has 1 in the black, sacrifice 2 saplings, draw a card. So that was from Dominaria thing. There's quite a few tree folk on there. And this is Old Man Willow from Lord LOTR. 2 black and a green for an XX. It's a power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. When it attacks, you may sack another creature or a token. When you do, target creature an opponent controls -2/-2 until the end of the turn. Then you've got Cloudcrown Oak, just a 3/4 with reach, 2 and a green. You think most tree folk should have reach, but they're not necessarily in Magic terms. Fendeep Summer, so this is probably forgotten about now. So it's 4 and a black for a 3/5. It's tap up to 2 target swamps, each become 3/5 tree folk warriors. In addition to other types until end of turn, you can do it on opponent swamps as well. You can use it like a land destroying effect if you want. You can if they wipe the board, for instance. This is Enrage Huron from Lord of the Rings again, 4 and a green. I mean, I would expect the deck will probably get some more additions later in the year. Hobbit's later in the year, isn't it? Is it Star Trek first? Or a Reality Fracture? I mean, there's lots of sets now. Alright, 4 and a green for a 4/5 with trample. It enters the battlefield. The ring tempts you. Got a ring token for those people new to the game that don't know what the ring does. It's there. Just pause if you want to see that. All right, that's the ring token. This is one of the best creatures in the deck for the thing. So this is Timber Protector. This is probably forgotten about now. So it's 4 and a green mana for 4/6. It's other tree folk creatures you control +1/+1, and it's other tree folks and forests you control are indestructible. So it's kind of like an Avacyn, but not quite, because Avacyn itself has indestructible, whereas this does not. It's also lower in terms of mana though. Alright, so we've got Eudora, Graveguard. It sounds like Dora thing to me. Alright, so Eudora is 4 and a green for a 5/5. It's another legendary creature as well. So whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you may return it to the battlefield face down under owner's control. It's a forest, land, so it gives you land when your creatures die, basically. This is Sapling of the Coffiner, so 3 black-green hybrid for 2/5. It's indestructible. It's kind of like a Dark Confident effect, because whenever it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you gain life to the creature's toughness, lose life equal to the power, then put it into your hand. Got Great Oak Guardian for 6 mana for a 4/5. It's got flash and reach. It's whenever Great Oak Guardian enters the battlefield, creatures target player controls +2/+2 until the end of the turn and untap them. So you can use it on your opponent's creatures as well, or your teammate, inverted commas. Then we got I'm in our upstairs room filming as normal. And we say we'll probably get the cards into an actual more semblance of order at some point. Yeah, the train goes past. The train line goes past. All right. Right, so we've got Ezroot Channel of 5 and a green for a 4/6 with reach. Creature spells you could cast cost X less, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. You can tap to gain 2 life. There's like some life gain in the deck. It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's amazing. And you got one of the staple things from one of the staple cards from Lord of the Rings. It's a 5/6 for 5 and a 7 reach. But it's the main reason why these cards see a lot of play are the cycling abilities. I see most of them will see play in various different formats. From cube, I'm like even the island cycle one. I believe sees vintage play, the one with the look with the blue thing. Oh, but that's not a creature anyway. But I'm talking about more about the cycling mechanic. Alright, cycling is basically discard the card, basically pay the cost. So search for, in this case, search for a forest, reveal it, put it into your hand. So early in the game it can get you to your land, and later in the game it's a 5/7 with reach. This one also enters the battlefield. You create a food token as well. I know hobbits like food tokens. You could probably play some hobbits to go on, and if you want to go a bit more Lord of the Ringsy than me. Alright, we've got Namarta Grove Guardian. Now this one is signed. It's signed by John Avon. So it's a 4/5 for 6, 4 and a green. It's got 2 and a green, make a sapling. It sacrifices a sapling. All saplings get +1/+1 until end of the turn. Right, so the creatures have been divided into creature types. I'll show you all the tree folk first, and then I'll show you all the rest of them. So this is Orchard Warden, 4 green for 4/6. It's when a tree folk enters under your control, you may gain life equal to creature's toughness. You've got another legendary one coming up. There's quite a few actually, but it's like you definitely probably want to play 2 colors, at least 3 probably. All right, Verideth the Ancient, 4 to green for 4/7. This one has synergies across 2 tribes you're playing. So you're playing the tree folk and you're playing some saplings as well. This one has so it's got kicker X. You may pay an additional X as this enters. All other tree folk and saplings are +1/+1. And if you've paid the kicker cost, put X +1 green saplings into X into play. Then you've got Quick Beam Ensar. It's just like a kind of like another combat trick, really. It's 4 and green whenever it's or another tree folk. So this one is slightly better than the thing because you can play multiple tree folk to give your guys +X more times. Whenever it or another tree folk enters the battlefield under control, up to 2 target creatures. Oh, it's only 2 creatures. Sorry, I forgot it was capped. Each creature +2/+2 and trample. Yeah, it's only 2 creatures. Alright, so then we've got Timberland Ancient. It's another thing with Forest Cycle. There's got much. This one's from Dominari, isn't it? 4 green for 6/5 with reach and trample. Forest Cycling 2. We've got Overworld Observer. So this is a primary intro pack card. Yeah, they used to have alternate art cards in the intro pack. They weren't new cards, they're just different artwork. Alright, 4 and a green for a 6/6. Whenever a creature you control with it toughness 4 or greater dies, draw a card. It's just card draw. Then you've got one of the multicolored cards. So this is Colfin of the Last Yew. I'm not sure what foiling this is, but like I try and get the cards in foil. Alright, he's Vigilance and Reach, and it's whenever Colfin of the Last Year, another creature you control dies, return up to 1 target creature with lesser toughness from your graveyard to your hand. So it's Recursion. You've got Oaknar Warrior, nothing special. It's a 7 mana, 5 green for a 5/7 with Vigilance and Trample. Let me know what you think your most unusual commander decks as well. I'm going through all mine at the thing. I've got 42 decks. I try and do at least one of these every month anyway. Alright, so we've got Garspark Twins, 7 mana, 5 green for a 7/7 with Trample. This one has can block an additional creature each combat. So it can block 2 creatures. So you've got Mossbeard Ancient. So it's a 7 mana for a 7/7 with Trample. And it's also got, when it enters battlefield, you gain 5 life. Tree folk mainly are druids or warriors, I believe, if you're talking about classes in like role-playing games kind of thing. Vanguard and Tree Shepherd, 4 green. That's quite a lot of green. For 4/10, that's a weird stat line, isn't it? So it's tree folk you control have Vigilance. It's whenever 1 or more tree folk you control attack, add twice that much X green to your pool, and you don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end. Then you've got Woodfall Primus. Right, so this was probably more played near when the thing, and this does see play outside for some decks. It's mainly when you can reoccur it, basically. So it's basically when it 6/6 Trampler for 8 mana is when it comes in play, destroy target non-creature permanent, but it has Persist. So Persist is when the creature is put into the graveyard. If it has no -1/-1 counter on it, return it to play with a -1/-1 counter. So it will come back as a 5/5 normally. And Bob, another non-creature permanent. Right, last tree folk. So I think this was from one of the, yeah, this looks like it's from one of the Commander's sets, or Commander decks, I can't remember. This is Kirby's the Harvest Celebrant, X for green. It enters with a number of counters equal to the number of mana spent to cast it. Remove a counter from it. Prevent all the damage will be dealt this turn to another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. Normally itself. Sorry, it just me sneeze. Right, so now we've done the tree folk, we will move on to the other creatures, basically. So we've got some plants now. So you've got Sylvan Caryatids. It's just one of the best mana things, dorks in the game, really. It does cost 2 mana, but it has hexproof, basically, which makes it, so it means you more likely to get to your larger spells. And this is just hexproof. There are other ones that are hexproof while they're untapped, for instance, which is more a new one. All right, just one of the best mana dorks in the game, I would say. Well, that might be a bit stretch. It's one of the better ones. Right, so now this is the card that was inspired the deck, or the alteration of the Doran. Okay, so this is Tree of Redemption. Yes, this is an altar. So Tree of Redemption is a 3 and a green for a 0/13, so which is basically one of the largest toughness to power ratios in the game. I also play this in my wall deck, for instance, but I'm playing the regular one. Anyway, this was the card that inspired the deck, basically. So I wanted to get matching snow, like tree folk kind of thing. Alright, it's a plant rather than tree. Oh, so I've been playing Diablo recently. I've actually got a video of that going up on the channel. So there's the tree. The tree in that is a feature. You return various whispers to it, for instance. Yeah, anyway, the tree is in Diablo as well. Alright, so this is basically a 0/13 defender, and it taps to exchange your life total with Tree of Redemption's toughness. You won't be able to attack with it in this deck, though, but it's just a large blocker with an ability that will, I mean, people less likely to, well, you're more likely to have to bargain with people. All right. Then you've got Tree of Perdition. So this is the other tree. So this is a thing that, so it's the same stats. Is it the same tree? I don't really know the storyline that well. I'm not an expert. All right. Tree of Perdition is a similar thing. The flavor text is there will be no absolution. It's defender again, and it's tapped to exchange target opponent's life total with its toughness. Right, so those are the plants. Right, so now we've got a changeling. Yeah, so this is basically can be any creature type. I'm not that keen on changelings. It will probably go out when when I get some more actual cards to put in there. Chameleon Colossus is a 2 green for 4/4. Counts as all creature types, so it gets all the buffs and everything. It's 2 green, gets +X, where X is power, so it basically doubles in size pretty much. Alright, you've got Goreclaw. It's a bear. He's also in my various other green decks. He's pretty good, to be honest. It's 3 and a green for a 4/3. It's creature spells you control with power 4 or greater, costs 2 less to cast. Whenever Goreclaw attacks, each creature controlled with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 trample. You might not get all the benefits of that kind of card because it's like a lot of the things don't have 4+ power, but like it's acceleration. It's more like hastening things, but there we go. All right, Thallonite Hermit. So it's a Sapling Lord. It's 3 and a green for a 1/1. It's also got Morph Mechanic, which basically means you can play it face down as a 2/2 for 3. This was like the original version, so now it is called Disguise or the thing. This Morph was the original version of this mechanic. So it's when it is turned face up, put 4 1/1 green sapling creature tokens into play. You've got more sapling synergy. So you've got Tendershoot Dryad. This is also in various. This is my green-white deck and my Chatterfang deck as well. So Tendershoot Dryad is from Ixalan. It's one of the thing cards on the dinosaur plane. Anyway, 4 and a green for a 2/2. It has Ascension, so if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. You can't lose it once you gain it for the rest of the game. It's the beginning of each upkeep. Create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. And saplings you control have +2/+2 as long as you have the City's Blessing. And there's a few things that make saplings. You've got Forgotten Ancient. 3 and a green for 0/3. It's whenever a player plays a spell, you may put a counter on it. At the beginning of upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. This was in one of my games yesterday I played. Thanks to Games Group in Leatherhead. Thanks very much for the games. All right. Then we've got some things. We've got more elementals. We've got Bane of Progress. It's just artifact and enchantment removal. 6 mana for a 2/2. It's basically enters the battlefield, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Put a +1/+1 counter in it for each permanent destroyed this way. Got Avenger of Zendikar. No need to explain that really. 5/5. Makes plant for each land you have. Landfall. All the plants get +1/+1. You've got Verdant Force. So this was a card which we were actually the next card is the deck. The thing was is going to be, if you've been playing for ages, you might know what the next card in the sequence is. This was played in this archetype called Secret Force, in what was the equivalent of like it was more like the modern equivalent. Anyway, so this was basically, it makes saplings. It's not the best version of this card, like the Tender Shoot is, but we're playing this one anyway. And it's got a tree on the thing, and I quite like the artwork on the card. No, so we're going to the spells now. So this was the card you originally played in the Secret Force deck. As you played Natural Order, the aim was to get the Verdant Force into play as soon as possible, and that is what these decks did in that format at the time. All right. This is proxy. Obviously, I say, as always, you say if people are generally quite open to proxy, because I have multiple Natural Orders. It's just that I don't have one for each deck, pretty much. It's probably dropped in price now because Natural Orders saw a couple of reprints. So it's sacrifice a green creature, it's green tutors, search your library for a green creature and put it into play. Got Savala's Stampede. It's basically starting with, it's a voting card. Each player votes for one or three. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal creature card for each wild vote. Put the creatures onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into the library. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. You've got more card draw. You've got Rish cards. It's draw a card equal to greatest power among creatures you control. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 5 or less from your hand without paying the mana cost. You got Last March of the End. It's just a good card. 8 mana from it can't be countered. That's probably one of the key bits that makes it so good. It's draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control, then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. So it's a bit like a Gouter combined with the Summit X card drawing spell. All right. One of the better cards from Lord of the Rings. Fracturing Gust. So this is 2 green white hybrid, green white hybrid, green white hybrid. It's instant speed as well. It's destroy all artifacts and enchantments. You gain 2 life for each permanent destroyed this way. Now we go into the Planeswalker section. So these are kind of like the guardians of the forest. I would associate them. Oh, Highby is technically a forest guardian, isn't he? The thing, but he's more a shrine commander. All right. We'll go on to the things. We've got Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, makes plants, puts counters on things, gains life, draws cards. You've got Garruk, which is probably going to be the most played, one of the most played Planeswalkers in this kind of style of deck. Untaps land, makes beast, gives things +3/+3 and trample. I'm not going to explain the abilities too much. I'm just trying to get the video into 30 minutes. Right, so we've got Nissa. Untaps lands, returns permanents from graveyard to hand, gets an emblem with whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, you may draw a card. It's worth bearing in mind that the Moxfield link will tell you all the tokens you need for the deck and stuff like that. I haven't got them all. I've got them in a box floating around. I can't find all of them, but I've got as many as I can find. All right, so we've got Ren and 7. This one is worth explaining because I don't think I've had this in a deck before. All right, 3 and a green for 5 mana. This is the extended artwork one. It basically, +1 is reveal top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. 0 is put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Its minus is what it would play. It's create a green tree folk creature, a token with reach. This creature's power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Its -8 is return all permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. You get an emblem with you have on no maximum hand size. Garruk, big Garruk, that's probably my favourite Planeswalker. Makes beasts, draws cards, makes worms. Oh, Garruk, this one, the Predator. 7 mana, 5 loyalty, +1 destroy another target Planeswalker, +1 make a free black beast with death touch. -3 destroy target creature, gain life with toughness, and -8 is target opponent gets an emblem with whenever a creature attacks you, it gets +5/+5, so you basically marking someone or singling someone out. Right, we'll go on to the enchantments and the other section, and then we'll round out with the land. Right, Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me grow the content. And as I say, I've been going for like 3 years now. I've done like, well, the aim is to do all these videos. I try and do one a month of these at least. I also do various other MTG content for Brawl. Well, mostly, sorry, for Arena. I mostly focus on Brawl and Draft as well. Right, and I also do various other content, like other TCG content. I've done various from a Magic, what I call from a Magic player's perspective, where I focus on various other games. I also do various video game content as well. Right, so we're going on, so exploration. Not to say these are all the enchantments. This is basically, I regard this as like natural kind of mana acceleration, whereas Soul Ring is not. You can play Soul Ring and that if you want. You can play Arcane Signet and Burgeoning. I feel, so the cards like Burgeoning and Exploration are probably only good if you draw them in your opening hand, unless you have mana as stuff to do basically on landfall and stuff like that. Because I feel later in the game they're useless, but like they're good in your opening hand. Right, you've got Primeval Bounty. That one is multiple. It's basically whenever you cast a creature, make a beast, 3/3 green. When you cast a non-creature, put 3+1/1 counters, and it's where a land enters battlefield you control, you gain 3 life. Right, so you've got Call of the Ring from Lord of the Rings. At the beginning of that, keep the ring tempts you, and then when you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life, draw a card. The ring was over there, so we explained that earlier. We've got some removal there, various. So tree folk, they basically lignify, so that's a 1 green for it. It basically makes something into an 0/4 tree folk with no abilities. It's similar to the other one. No, it's similar to Darksteel Mutation. It's not quite as good as Darksteel Mutation, but it's the one in this deck. It's also a tree folk aura, so it's worth bearing in mind. This is basically a so this is one of the few cards with this type. So this is a tribal enchantment. It's basically counts as an enchantment and the creature type. So for instance, the tree folk Harbinger could find it, and there's some there's a cycle of them. There's like Tarfire for the Goblin on a spell, and like Fodder Launch and stuff as some of the other ones. Right, we've got Song of the Dryads. So this is another piece of removal. This is for anything. This is quite versatile. So it's 2 and a green for enchanted permanent is a colourless forest land. Then you've got some mana excel. So we've got Sylvan Scrying. Pick your favourite. We've got Farseek. Pick your favourite. We've got Nature's Law. That's a portal one. Kadama's Reach. We've got Cultivate. And Skyshard Claim. Right, now will just be the lands. Alright, so they're going to be a slight thing. So this is one of the special ones. This is Dryad Arbor. This is a forest land creature, so there's also in a few other decks. It's more for flavour in this one. It's not massively thing. You haven't got any you don't have any other particular thing. And then we've got the basic forests. So I've picked these ones. I try and match my basic ones. These are from Zendikar. Right, so we're gonna have count how many of these we are. I think it's 5. Yeah, we've got 5 in the Dryad Arbor. And we've got swamps, so we've got 2 of these. Playmat in the background is by Red Man and Madness, but thanks Anthony for the playmat. Right, so then we've got 1 Soliton Plains. That was Zendikar. Then we've got some Triad. Oh, so with the land, as I say, as always, I might have spoiled that slightly, is try and play what you have. Commander's about gradual improvement to your deck. Start out with what you have and then try and improve it. And basically, if people are open to proxies, just proxy the cards, basically, and try and get to them. Right, so we'll start with and generally the magic, the cost, quite a lot of the cost of the game is associated with the mana basis, because the more colours you play, the more expensive your lands are, basically, because you're playing a lot of dual colour lands that make more mana. Right, so we've got Sunset Citadel. This is a tri-land. Is there? Oh yeah, so this should be the triome. Before I start, I just haven't got there's a triome in this colours, right? I can't remember what colour combinations have a triome. I think this should be a triome. I'll tell you where and when I can remember the thing. All right, so this is a Forgotten Land. This is basically a Murmuring Bosque. So it's effectively a tribal X land, because it's a forest, but it comes into play. You may reveal a tree folk card, and if not, it comes into play tapped. It taps a white or black. It deals 1 damage, so it's effectively a 3-colour land. and it's also flavorful. We've got the ubiquitous command tower, good in every single deck that isn't mono. Got the fetch lands, full set of fetches. I've got like nearly 12 of all of them, but like just don't have them for this. All right, I prefer the original artwork generally. I think I've said that before. Original dual lands. So got a savannah, scrubland. Sorry, not a savannah. The savannah's the wrong thing. That I've got a blackboard one. That's in my other Doran deck. Coincidentally, we'll probably show that at some point. That's real as well. The blackboard one. It is foreign though. All right, we've got a Bayou. Got my Bayou from the Cobby with £2 ages ago though. That was 24 years ago probably. Same box as Tropical Island. We've got Savannah. Right, so we go Shockland. So we've got Overgrown Tomb. We've got Temple Garden. We've got Godless Shrine. Alright, so nearly there. So we've got these Buddy Lands. So we've got the Woodland Cemetery. We've got Isolated Chapel and Sun Petal Grove. We've got the Painlands, we've got the Brushland, we've got Lanoir Waste, Cave of Kolios. Then we've got the temples, we've got Temple of Plenty, Temple of Malady, and Temple of Silence. I say generally, if you don't have the land, try and avoid as many coming to play tap land as possible. If they're not tapping for 2 colours or more and coming in, if they're coming in tapped, you basically have to think twice about it. You don't want too many coming to play tap lands. Right, then we got although this one might have a few. So this has got the hideaway lands, as I think they're just this is basically you may pay the remove hideaway is you when the land comes in play tapped, look at top 4 cards of your library, remove 1 from the game, and then put the rest on the bottom. You may pay the card without paying its mana cost if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater. I'd rather it was toughness in this deck. Windbreast Heights, which is a similar thing, but this one is based on attacking with 3 or more creatures. Got a Cycle Land, we've got Scattered Grove from Amonkhet. We've got Stirring Wildwood, it's a man land. Got another man land, we've got Treetop Village. So this animates into a 3/3, it does enter the battlefield tap low. It might be a few too many tap lands, but it's fairly low bracket anyway. And we've got Gaia's Cradle, let's say this isn't the real one, this as a thing, it's in another deck. Alright, so that's everything. Anyway, thanks very much. As you say, this has been Matthew. This has been Matthew Hawker Gaming. This has been my Doran Tree Folk Tribal or Forest Friends, I think I might call it. Anyway, as always, as you say, the link to the deck on Moxfield will be below the video in the comments section. And you say, don't forget, I'll keep doing these. I've got 42 decks. You can see some of them are over there. They're just on the chest of drawers thing. So if you want to see what decks I have, go to the overview video which I did, and then you say all my videos are linked in the various playlists. So there's a one for Commander, for instance. There'll be a one for Magic. There'll be others for video games and various other TCG content. Anyway, all right. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me grow the content. And say helps me grow. Hopefully, I'm going to get to triple-digit subscribers this year. I did say I was hoping to double them, but that might be a bit ambitious. All right. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.